Wow! Good morning. Such squishy cheeks. It's one of those days where I wake up and I'm going nowhere, but I'm like, I'm gonna put some makeup on. Not because I need it, but because I can and I want to. Especially if you're feeling a little bit tired, you'd be amazed like what a little makeup could do to boost your energy. So nice to see the dogs outside. They love exploring. But question, guys, as you can see, we have quite a lot of weed. I'm not quite sure what to do about it, guys. This sounds silly, but I really have no idea. Do I need weed killer or do I pull it out? Best thing about having a child is, in a lot of ways, you get to be a child as well. Haha. Are you ready, Isaac? Oh, 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 oh. This makes me kind of hungry. What? Hey! Feeding the dogs Play-Doh. Are you feeding the dogs Play-Doh? No, thank you. This is my third time visiting my sister this week. We're extending the Play-Doh fun and we are making pizza. Look at this mess. I think I'm good with one kid, guys. Daddy off to get food,
Why?
We hungry.
Why do you need more food?
For energy.
And he make you big?
Yeah, good boy.
And he make you big of the bubble?
Yes.
Why?
So many questions. Because follow your heart. And your dreams will come true. I just explained to Benji that Isaac's not well today, so he's a little grumpy. Look, Dr. Benji! Check out, guys. He has a new skill. Wow! He's definitely my son. If you guys don't know already, I'm really good at picking stuff up with my toes. I don't have a lot of talents, but I have immense strength with my toes. Oh, is this the old man? Careful. Making an egg white mask today. If you find that your skin's a bit oily, your pores a little bit big, then an egg white mask works wonders. Okay, mommy deserved it. Today I did something quite foolish and a little disappointed in myself. Gotta tell myself that it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Today's the last full day that Isaac and I have together before Tim gets here tomorrow. So I thought I'll take him out and do some errands as usual. So I locked the house and then I started to strap him into his baby car seat. And when I was doing that, he took my keys and he started playing with it. Yeah. So he started playing with it and I was like, okay, no big deal. When he was strapped in, I shut the door. As I was walking to the other side to get into the car, I heard a click noise. And then I realized that he pressed the lock button and locked himself in. On my car key, there's lock, unlock, and then boot. And I was trying to get him to press the middle key so he'd open it. I was like, Isaac, press! And inside he was laughing and he started pressing the lock button repeatedly. I kept on making the click noise because he was just pressing the lock button. And I was just frantically trying to open the car door and it wasn't happening. I started to get really, really freaked out because the keys he was holding, it had my house keys as well. Here I was standing outside the car with no keys to my car, no keys to my house, no phone, nothing. And my baby was inside the car just giggling away, and I just felt so helpless. Tried to look calm and happy as normal, and I was trying to get him to click it, and then he started to get frustrated after about 5 minutes, and he threw the key, and that was like all hope lost. It was about 11 o'clock, so I ran from house to house in my neighborhood, but because it was still early, nobody was home, and I was freaking out. Luckily, I ran to one of my neighbors, Michael, and he was home, and when he opened it, he was like, what's wrong? 'Cause by this point, I was like almost hysterical because I was like worried. All I really needed was to use a phone, and like Michael was like saying, is there any like windows that's open that I can climb in? I'm like, no. Luckily for my car window, there's like a sticker there that shows that you can call the Audi road assistance. So I called them and I was like, my baby's in my car, hurry. People on the phone were so nice. This is one of those moments where you're just like, crap, because these days no one remembers phone numbers anymore. I only know my mum's number by heart. So I tried to get her to call my mum-in-law just in case she has a spare key, and she doesn't. And then my mum-in-law found out obviously about what happened, and she rushed over, and I just felt so ashamed. So I felt really bad because I was just standing outside the car just looking at Isaac, and he was just crying frantically inside. Like, he must have felt so scared. And luckily in Northern Ireland, like the climate is quite cold, so I wasn't worried about him being stuffy inside. I just felt really disappointed in myself. So eventually the road assistant came, and this guy, when he stepped out of the car, I was like, oh, I was like, my hero. Some like special contraption, and he was like silent for a little while. You know, like when you watch movies and you see people try to hack into certain systems, and it's like a special. And then we're all quiet at this point. We're like just waiting for him to do his thing, and then in just like a few minutes he opened a door, and when the door opened, like Isaac looked at me and he beamed the happiest smile. So happy that he's okay. He must have been like just crying in the car for like, I don't know, I want to say maybe the maximum 35 minutes, but it felt like forever for me. Definitely lesson learned. One is to give a spare key to like a family member just in case anything happens and you get locked out. 2, don't let your toddler play with your car key. Especially as a mother, it's hard not to be hard on yourself sometimes, but you just gotta remember that, hey, you know, everybody makes mistakes. You can only learn from it, and you know, luckily he seems to be okay. Michael, if you're watching, thank you so much for just being there when I was in need. Audi assistants, thank you so much. You guys were amazing. When I was calling my mom to get her to call my mother-in-law, like sometimes I think it's an Asian culture, like it's just natural for them because they're frustrated and worried. They'd say, you know, what? How could you do this? How could you be so careless? You know, that sort of attitude. And I know she did it out of love and she was worried. So at the moment I was like, look, I don't need this right now, and I slammed the phone on her. Like, we really take it for granted, you know, just because they're our parents doesn't mean that we can speak to them a certain way and slam our phones at them, which is what I did. Eventually, when everything was okay, when I spoke to my mom and I told her, oh, everything's okay, Isaac's fine, she apologized. She was like, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry for slamming the phone on her, of course. I just told him what happened, and he was like, ha 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 ha. Actually found it funny. He was like, only you, Lindy, only you. And while I'm like, it's not funny, a side of me is also kind of happy he found the humor in it. Tim just told me that as long as the key is inside the car, if I put my thumb on the passenger door and hold a few seconds, the door auto opens. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't know this.